So the procurement of solar power or any alternative power to the grid has changed pretty dramatically over the years. Again, this is largely driven by the cost gap between the grid and alternatives. But a fundamental difference between, for example, a solar PV system and buying power from the grid is that if you're going to use solar, somebody needs to make an upfront investment in those costs. The grid is obviously already there and it's generally accessible to most people. And those costs are already sunk into the grid. So with the grid, you'll pay almost effectively on a pay-as-you-go for kind of approach for energy and power. With renewable energy, there's no fuel costs. There's effectively very minimal running costs once the system is there, but there is an upfront investment in the equipment that's required. And that's traditionally been a barrier to a lot of energy users who've been looking for alternatives. They don't necessarily have that capital available to invest in this equipment. But what we've seen is that a lot of companies are choosing to buy power from independent power producers or IPPs who specialize in investing and in owning and in developing renewable energy assets. And what that has allowed is, there's been a real maturing of that IPP sector where there is a wide pool of IPPs who have a lot of experience in implementing these systems. They are able to do it in a very cost-effective manner, and also the equipment costs have come down considerably. And they are able to effectively smooth those costs out over the full life of a PV system, which is typically 20 to 25 years. As that sector has become more experienced, also the technical risk associated with these projects has become a lot lower, and that has a cascading effect. It impacts the cost of finance, and it ultimately creates an electricity tariff that is available to a consumer to buy solar power that is much more competitive than the grid as a result of these Eskom increases that we've been having for a decade now.